The Big 89 WLS, always a pleasure to see our friend David Cash Hochberg. Remember?
Oh, God. Cash.
Remember, the M in Hochberg stands for money.
Yeah. You have to find the... Oh, well, I guess my middle initial is Michael. So
there you go.
Yeah, there's
It's 855-56-DAVID, 56david.com. In the David Hochberg lookalike contest, Sam Bankman-Fried was a runner-up.
Oh, God.
Sam Bankman-Fried, the Bitcoin kid, 2 years ago, was living in a $35 million Bahamas penthouse, partying with his pals and allegedly running crypto companies, which turned out to be a giant scam.
Yeah.
It took jurors only 3 hours of deliberations last November to find him guilty of all 7 criminal counts against him, and he is about to face sentencing. He, on paper, at one point was worth $26 billion. Right now, not so much.
No.
And this all goes to the FTX Bitcoin fortune and all the various other fake monetary things that were being invented every 10 minutes.
Wasn't that incredible, though, that he came out of nowhere?
Yep.
And all of the celebrity endorsements this guy got. He was on baseball stadiums.
Yes.
He was... I think he was on umpires' jerseys.
Yeah, patches.
He was everywhere. Super Bowl commercials, and now he's going to spend the rest of his life in a jail cell because he's a piece of crap.
It seems like Trump should have called him because he had a $250 million bond that he actually met.
Right.
So I don't know how much of his money is hidden, if people are going to be able to find it.
Steamer trunks of cash are buried in backyards located throughout the United States with this guy.
They say he
think
lost,
they're in other countries?
Well, they say he
got
lost 94% of his personal wealth, but when you start with $35 billion, 95%, the 6% left over, you can live on that.
You can live on that. And his parents are attorneys, aren't they? Aren't
I believe so, at least one of them. I don't know if both.
Big, high-shot professors at Stanford or something like that, aren't they? Highly educated, and
if you read the story, go to CNBC's version of the story today, because I believe covering this story is the worst courtroom artist I've ever seen. I can't describe this to you on the radio and give it justice, but Sam Bankman-Fried looks nothing like the courtroom artist rendering of him.
No, I think if you were to think about, I don't know, like a young Fred Flintstone mixed with a George of the Jungle.
That's awesome.
So like caveman meets,
kind of a caveman with bad hair.
That's awesome.
Yeah, as opposed to the good hair we've associated with cavemen with.
Well, his hair is more kempt in the picture. It's a little bit more put together.
All these highly educated, look how smart I am. I'm creating a Ponzi scheme over there. I got an 18 on my ACT. All right, I took it 3 times. I got an 18 3 times.
So cumulatively, like 3 6s?
No, I got no. I'm not that bad. I got 6 for just getting David right. So I went to Northern Illinois University, worked my ass off to get through there. I've been breaking rocks for the past God knows how many years. Just to build a business and build a brand. And these jackasses come out and put billions of dollars of funny money, BS money in the bank, and then go belly up and get Tom Brady and all of these high paid.
Yeah, Larry David, I think.
Just like, you watch a baseball game, like, who are these guys? And then it's all garbage.
What's the future of Bitcoin? Is there one?
I have no idea. I ask my financial planner that all the time.
And what do they say?
He's like, stay the hell away from it. And Warren Buffett doesn't like it. And you know what? He's done all right.
What does he know?
Right, exactly.
What does he know? And all I know is it keeps going up. It's up to 60, 70,000. Then it goes down. There are people making a ton of money. And every time I meet with my guy, I think twice a year, and he's like, "Nah, you're good with the stuff we got going. We got 12 to 18%."
Well, it's just too volatile. I mean, I remember in the middle of this Sam Bankman-Fried stuff, it'd be 50,000 one day and 12,000 6 hours later, and then back up to 40. It's like, what?
I don't know how you.
I mean, maybe someday, but not in our lifetime.
I don't know.
I just think it would take too long.
You take $50,000 to buy one Bitcoin. Then nobody could tell me exactly what a Bitcoin is.
Yeah, but here's the deal. Digital money exists.
I understand.
It's our money. It's already digital. So what do we need to do digital money for? I don't get it.
My financial planner explained it to me like this. You could go into a car dealership and give them buy a $50,000 car with one $50,000 Bitcoin. But the time that they get to the market on Monday, that Bitcoin, that $50,000 Bitcoin could be worth $35,000.
Right.
It's not worth anything.
Well, it's worth 35, and you just sold a car for 50.
Yeah.
So now you're taking a 15G loss. So I'm like, all right, I can understand that.
It's impossible to think it'll adopt it.
I don't get it.
There is also a question of a new Chicago tax this morning.
They haven't found a tax they don't like in the city.
We are literally the most taxed state in the country, according to the most recent survey of folks who add those numbers up.
It's incredible.
More taxes than California, more taxes than New York, more taxes than New Jersey. Congratulations. But this tax is a congestion tax. If you've ever paid to drive into London, if you've traveled there, they've had a congestion tax for years. New York literally just adopted it.
Okay.
So now this city, is this the mayor's idea?
No, this is an alderman, the 40th ward, right? Alderman Vasquez, who hasn't found a tax that he hasn't liked. I read something. I follow him on Twitter because he's just so whacked out there. It's a comedy act, right? I mean, it's like watching an episode of Curbed, reading his Twitter feed. Okay, he's like, "Oh, great news! New York just passed this law. This is the way we should go, and all this stuff." So people start pounding him, right? What are you talking about, right? What universe are you living in?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing. I'm from New York. I was born in Brooklyn, right? You want to get to Manhattan, you got to go through the Lincoln Tunnel. You got the Triborough Bridge. You got the Brooklyn
Bridge.
Bridge.
Paying for all of them.
You're paying for all of them. Okay, you want to go to Staten Island? You got the Verrazano
Bridge. GW. Every borough is costing you $20 to go back and forth.
Last time I looked, there's no tunnel to get into Chicago. Okay, there's no bridge to get here from Wilmette to the north side of the city.
I'll do you one better. 60% of the business that used to exist in Chicago comes to work every day.
Right.
So we've never been less congested downtown.
And the businesses are moving out.
I don't understand.
So why give incentive for more people to leave?
How about this? Okay, how about this? Remember that genius move that they did to build the migrant shelter on the southwest side on the toxic land dump there?
Yeah,
okay.
Millions developing it.
Okay, hold on. It gets better. So that person who came up with that great idea is now the chief of staff of Brandon Johnson. Okay, so and then that person has the gall to stand in front of the cameras when the reporters rightly ask this person, "What are you doing with all the money that you wasted prepping this site that's no longer going to be a migrant site?"
Right.
Oh, no worries. We work closely with this GC, and they're not going to charge us anything, but we're going to take all these workers, hard workers and union workers, rightly so, and put them over at a vacant building, and they're going to build that out instead. Listen. If you believe that the city didn't get tagged for prepping that site,
ridiculous.
Okay, they might not have gotten tagged there, but that next project that they're going to go to,
nobody gives away free land.
They're going to jack it up 2 times what the cost was to build it. How stupid are people in Chicago?
Speaking of
to elect
stupid,
these idiots to run things? I don't get it.
And
speaking of stupid,
yes,
we also have to get to Jussie Smollett's case being taken up by the Illinois Supreme Court because clearly there's nothing better for them to do.
What are we doing in this city? I mean, why are they taking it up?
I know. Why does it have to come back?
Stupid.
Thank you.
Hold on. I could see the subway from this studio. Okay,
Yes.
we could get 6 blocks from here.
Yeah.
Okay. We use common sense. It's 2 in the morning.
Oh, see the guy coming right there?
Yeah.
$7. That's $7 coming this way right there. That guy in his one car.
Hey, stupid. Get back on the train.
Why would the Illinois Supreme Court take Jussie Smollett's case? In December, an appeals court upheld his disorderly conduct conviction. Smollett's people pled their case to go to the highest court in the state, the Supreme Court, and the appeals court voted 2-1 in favor of upholding the conviction. I just want to know why the Illinois Supreme Court has even taken this on.
Me too. Why?
Isn't this the same organization, the same court that failed to pull Ed Burke's law license? Isn't that the same Illinois Supreme Court, I believe? Why are we even still talking about this? It was an embarrassment when it happened.
I don't know why we're still talking about it.
40 below with the wind chill.
Why don't we all, the news outlets just need to stop covering it?
Right. 40
Listen, the people I feel badly for are Crafty Beaver. Because Crafty Beaver,
You know what?
Crafty
You're right.
Beaver,
Where they bought the
That's
supplies.
right.
Crafty Beaver sold the supplies.
Yeah.
They were completely innocent in it, and they got dragged into this. They're good, hard-working Chicago people. It's a great Chicago business. But by now,
They're getting some advertising.
7, 8
you
years
should be
already.
doing a Jussie Smollett special where you put together duct tape and rope and a wool hat.
Right.
And then teach a DIY class on actually how to use that stuff.
So
Just
maybe like
admit
outdoor gardening.
you effed up.
Yeah.
It's 2 a.m. Okay, we're all from Chicago here, right?
Right.
2 a.m.
2 a.m. in the middle of the polar vortex.
40 below at the wind chill, screaming off of Lake Michigan over here at the Lowe's Hotel. This guy's staying across the street right here.
And nobody's walking underneath.
Nobody's walking. Nobody's out at 40 below with the wind chill. He's walking around the corner to get a tuna sub at 2 a.m.
You're not
Give me a
good.
freaking break.
Well, and if you're out, you're waiting in line at a bar to get in, but you're not walking underground
Wait a
by
minute.
this
Hold
hotel.
on. Then there's 2 Nigerian guys with nooses and red MAGA hats at 2
workout
a.m.
buddies.
It's so stupid. Just
It really
drop
is
it.
stupid.
Move over.
I
Move
remember
on.
Mayor Emanuel used to be on my old show quite a bit, and he talked to me more than he talked to anybody, and he came in. And by the way, Mayor Johnson, yes, mayors do talk to me. Mayor Daley was on with me, but you're obviously lost the number.
Weekly.
Yeah.
But Mayor Emanuel was on the morning of this Jussie Smollett thing,
Oh, God. I miss
and he
that.
wanted to murder him.
Yeah.
Just wanted, because it's just nonsense.
It's an embarrassment to
It's
the
nonsense.
city.
In the area we're in right here, you wouldn't see a MAGA hat for a mile.
No.
And they try to make it into a Trump thing? Are
Right.
you kidding me?
So ridiculous. You saw the cops on the videotape just going, yeah, right. Yeah, sure, bud. Yeah, we totally believe this. Such a waste of resources.
So anyway,
that's
spend
exactly
money.
it.
Spend money at Crafty Beaver. Support
Support
Crafty
the
Beaver.
beaver. Support the beaver.
Hey, there you go. There's their slogan.
Yeah, of course. I'm a marketing genius. Support
You
the
are.
beaver. Get in line. Yeah.
I have some good Chicago news, and then I'll ask David Hochberg to give us any money news that we need to know.
Go ahead.
San Francisco is the most expensive city to live in the country for a family of 4. Washington, D.C. is 20th. Chicago didn't make the top 20.
That's good.
So that's good.
Yeah, we got that looking
Got
for
that
us.
farce. All right, money
It's still
news that
expensive
you
to live
want
here.
people to know. Homes or otherwise. What do you want people to know?
Well, average median new home prices unexpectedly fell to $400,500 in February, down 7.6% over the last year. Now, when you see that, that's a national number. It's a national number. I haven't seen it here in Chicago yet, okay, because every realtor that you're talking to in this price range between the 150 and 800,000, they're still lining up, even at 6-7% interest rates. So I will tell you what, we're getting more calls and more calls and more calls. 2 different segments. Number one, experienced homeowners who have outlived their assets, can't make it on their $1,234 worth of Social Security, and kids of the parents who are living in either have a small mortgage or have the home paid off and can't afford to continue to give mom and dad, or just mom or just dad, a G note a month because they promised one of their parents while they were dying that they would take care of the other one. And they're reaching out for reverse mortgages, which is the most misunderstood loan, but it's one of the best loans next to a VA loan out there on the planet. So we're helping a lot of our listeners with that. And we're getting flooded with cash out refinance calls because everybody's extended on their home equity line of credits. Those that are credit challenged can't get home equity line of credit, so we're helping them enhance their credit or putting them into FHA loans in order to get the liquidity out of their home to pay off their debt. So it's gotten to a point, guys, where the water in the 5-gallon tank is at 5.5 gallons, and we just can't hold anymore, and the tank's about ready to burst. So equity in your home is the same as cash out refinances. We're getting a ton of phone calls, and we'd love to help your listeners out that are going through financial challenges and and it's not only the financial challenges, guys. It's the mental stress that it puts on the person, the homeowners, the mom and the dad, the single mom, the single dad, the divorced parents, because you're continuing to fight over stuff about money. There's equity in your home. You could easily use that equity in your home to stop the debt and pay the debt off. Yeah, you might be in a little higher interest rate, but it's about the monthly payment. Again, it's about the monthly payment. If you haven't heard me say this about 4,000 times in the past, it's about the monthly payment.
And the thing that I want people to hear, too, about Team Hochberg is you don't do one deal, then you're done.
No.
You do one deal, and if you go, well, I don't understand if I can ever refinance this or that, pick up the phone, call them. They're not going to go, and you are?
Yeah.
They'll know who you are. They've dealt with you in the past. You're a client And you want to see people succeed.
Well, I feel like, you're looking out for people.
Well, here's what just happened. At 4 o'clock yesterday, I asked my assistant, Vanessa, who's about 6 months pregnant, so I'm going to be absolutely bat crap crazy
You're
for
gonna be
about.
lost.
I'm going to be screwed.
I
How
know.
selfish of her to have a child.
I'm like, what are you doing? You could have.
Is this her first
What
child?
about me?
Yeah, I'm like, how about a puppy? Right? I would have bought her a puppy. Right? I bought her 3
Wanting to
puppies.
have a beautiful family. God,
She's just
it's so
interrupting my
selfish.
business thing. No,
Like
I
crazy.
love her. She's great, mate. She has many more babies. But
God bless her.
She's my right arm here, and I said, do me a favor, give me the list of everybody we did a cash out refinance for in the past 18 months. Okay, so we've got everybody lined up right there, and as the rates come down, we're targeting everybody. Listen, we've got listeners at 8.625% 30-year fixed loans.
Mm-hmm.
In the past 6 months that are ready to refinance. We have to wait a certain period of time before we could do it. But it's going to be, I'm going to get those individuals and those borrowers down to the 6s and the 7s and save them even more money. That's what it's all about.
Well, and here's
We
my
monitor
question.
all that.
This might be a dumb question, which most of my questions are, but where are the rates at now? And are they going down?
Yeah, well, listen, they're bouncing up and down. They're in the high 6s, low 7s. Every time we get good information, the rates start going down. The inflation numbers come out, and we get a kick right in the groin of steel-toe boots, and they go right back up. So we monitor it every day. It's our job, right? It's just like you guys monitor news and do whatever you guys do every day in order to keep our listeners informed and entertained. This is what I do every single day. I look at bonds. I look at different rates. We try to put our borrowers into better positions, and if they're looking to move, we try to get them into short-term loans to pay off debt to get their credit scores up so they could afford a nicer home, a larger home, the home that they want to move into. Yeah, you might come in with a little less of a down payment because you're tapping the equity out to pay off some debt, but the debt you're paying off is saving you a ton of money and increasing your credit score to put you into a better position to buy a new home. So these are different strategies we talk about every single day with all of our borrowers. So that's what we do. Love to have the opportunity to share that information.
And the
with
number
your
to call is?
855-56-DAVID. Go to 56david.com. And our website, once again, is 56david.com. And also, real quick, Goodnight Johnny Boy helped us raise $13,500 for the Vestathon. They're next to JP Graziano's on Randolph. So big shout out to Dante and his crew for helping us out. Yeah.
Also, before you go, you can invest any money you want. It's your money to invest. The Dow went up 450 yesterday. The S&P 500 at a fresh record. It continues to roar. The valuation of the Trump media stock is insane.
Yeah.
So if you're putting your money in there, just know that your money may not be worth anything in a few months, and Trump can't touch it for his own
6 months,
debt. But just be very careful with that Trump media stock. That's all. It's just a warning.
So I'll tell you what I told my 18-year-old daughter 6 months ago when we set up an S&P 500 stock plan. I'm like, we're going to set and forget it. Like Ronco, she's like, what's that? I'm like, Google it. And, she had all this money from her babysitting and her summer jobs. We took $5,000. We put $4,000 into play, and we set up a dollar cost averaging of $100. And she's continuing to work through college, and she's got more money. I'm like, okay, give me $2,000 from the money you made at college that you don't need because you got all this money, and we're going to increase the dollar cost averaging from 100 to 200. And she's like, okay, let's go. So I'm starting them young, and this is just set, forget it, don't even look at it.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's a good education.
David Hochberg, 855-56-DAVID, 56david.com. Father Tom Hurley shortly to pray for all of us.
Especially in for me.
Especially
our
Good, sure, absolutely.
The Christian praises for the Jews. That's
Passover
nice.
coming up. Why not?
Yeah, why not? Brotherhood.
You borrowed our book.
You know what I like to say around Easter to all my Jewish friends? Nice try.